wanted to show you another way of looking at your mask to refining it, another approach to creating a mask, in case this is helpful for you. So I've got my bird image up again, and I have my contextual taskbar here, and again, a kind of a quick tool that Photoshop has added more recently is the remove background. You can click that, and what happens is, again, just like select subject, it's trying to find the subject, and it automatically creates that mask for you. So if you look in your layer panel, you have a layer mask there that has the background black and the shape of the bird white. Again, this mask needs a little tweaking, right? Because it grabbed a little bit of the the tree branch, and then it didn't cut out some things, and it cut a little bit too much of some feathers. So you want to tweak the mask a little bit. And so we could do that in a couple of different ways. There is, you might see, let's see if your properties, if you go to your properties, you might see this option to say select and mask. You can also get to it by right clicking the mask thumbnail in your layer panel, select and mask. And it's going to pull up these options over here for you to view your photograph and your selection. And this is helpful, I think, for me when I'm trying to cut out something. I want to be able to see what I'm doing a little easier. So the view options here you should try out. So for example, onion skin is one that I find really helpful, especially if in this scenario here where our bird, a bit of our bird feathers were cut out. But if I look at it on the layer, you don't know where the feathers are exactly. So this gives you the opportunity to see the onion skin, and you can control the transparency of this. So I can see, like, okay, so my selection is where it's really clear, right? And then I can see now, like, oh, the feathers are here, and so I can work that edge. And just like with the brushes working with black and white, this works with the plus and the minus. So like with the paintbrush tool over here, so I can add and I can subtract to my selection or to my mask. And so I think what I want to do is subtract, no, the opposite, add to my mask, or add to my what's being revealed, I guess, in this case. And so I'm going to add a few of these feathers that got cut off. And I can see that they get a little darker in this view. Other views you could check out are like the marching ants view, which that's showing you your actual selection, which that's helpful when you want to use some of these tricks down here to refine so you can smooth your selection. And it'll show you that. See how the lines are getting smoother? The marching ants lines are getting smoother versus here where they might be a little more jagged. You can feather here as well, and that it gives you a little preview of that. You can also, shift the edge and play with contrast. But yeah, so the view options, you can see which ones work better for you. Sometimes it's nice to be able to see it on black, see it on white, see how the selection is working on layers. If you have any layers over there, it'll give you a preview of that. But this is just where you can, another view way of working your mask. So if I want to, get rid of that inside of the mouth, I can use the paintbrush tool to do that a little easier. And then when we're done, or when we feel like we've got it fixed up in the way that we want, maybe really quickly I can deal with this tree branch. So I want the tree branch to be included. So I'm going to go ahead and add that to reveal that. I don't need this little bit of the background there. I can get rid of that. make my brush size a little bigger, move this along faster. I'm just going to do it quickly so you can see the result. So it's not a perfect edge, but it'll be fine. You get to bring back a little bit of the claw there that was lost. And so when I've got my selection ready, I just want to make sure that at the end here at the output settings that I output to layer mask. We can output to selection too sometimes, but I'm going to use layer mask so that it's, again, I have my layer and my mask and I can always go back and tweak that if I want to.